It's a 3-match ODI series that's going to be played with the first game in Nagpur on the 6th. India playing England. And for India, the fans will be happy because they see some of their favourites come back. They see the two big names in Indian cricket, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, are both going to be there. Remember, they have both retired from the T20 format, as has Ravindra Jadeja after the World Cup wins. So they'll be back. So this again is, you see that the T20 squad, Zach, and the ODI squad, there's not much of an overlap here, right? I mean, when you look at the batters, yes, in the all-rounders, there's a little bit of an overlap. In the bowlers, perhaps just a bit, but it's great to see that's almost different.
Well, largely you'll see the continuity from the 23 World Cup.
Yeah.
So the team and the players who have contributed in those matches and the template which was set by the team was fantastic. So I think there's a conscious effort being made around that to have that continuity, and that's what you can expect from this format.
Yeah.
So they want to maybe just look to emulate what they've been doing in that World Cup, which was such a fantastic World Cup for them. Pretty much winning through and through, not dropping a single game in that league phase. So except for the finals, they've been brilliant. So you will see a similar kind of approach, similar kind of methods. Touching points, ticking those boxes. So all those kind of things will come back with this series now against England and lead up into the Champions Trophy. An
important 3-game series, Michael, also for the two big guns, the experienced boys, Rohit and Virat, because they've had a bit of a dry spell in the last few months. So they'll be eager to get some runs below their belt.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really good for the culture of a team when you've got, players that aren't in that squad that could easily be in that squad. So the likes of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, they'll know that they're going to have to produce some numbers. They know that they've got all these young players that are breathing down their neck to get into that side. So I think that's a really healthy environment that Gautam Gambhir has got. India are a brilliant side. They played so well in the 50-over World Cup. They just had that blip in the final. But, I see nothing at this stage other than a 3-0 India win. With the way that India are playing, the way that England are playing the spinners, the one key for England will be Joe Root. Joe Root back into that side. You saw him on the bench today, just getting himself back in with the troops. Joe Root's playing well. He's been in great form in South Africa. And I think England, there's a real good debate. Do England need, even in T20 cricket, a Joe Root style player that can be very consistent, just manoeuvre the ball into the gaps, and he can be the glue and everyone else can be the firecrackers around him. So he's going to be a big player, particularly against the spinners. And clearly it's going to be spin. There'll be lots of spin bowled at England. Why wouldn't you? So it's going to be how England play the spinners in the 3 games. And that's going to go into Pakistan for the Champions Trophy. All these teams around the world, they'll be watching the likes of Harry Brook play spin. They'll be watching the way that Liam Livingstone plays spin and go, okay, when you play us in a 50-over format, we're going to throw lots of spinners at this England side. So that is what England have got to get better at. But they have got the best player spin that I've seen with Graham Gooch in an England jersey, and that's Joe Root back in the team. So that should help them.
We look at that India squad again. I mean, forget the batters because, we have Hardik at 6 and one of either Jadeja or Akshar at 7. That's what India likes to go with, right? Now, Zach, who's your other 4 bowlers then? Who are the other 4 bowlers you're going with in Nagpur?
Well, Harshit is going to be there for sure. You'll have Shami and Arshdeep is something which will make up the fast bowling. And then you'll have Kuldeep and maybe Akshar and Ravindra Jadeja between them.
Yeah. So you're saying Kuldeep, you're saying Bumrah, Harshit, Shami?
Bumrah/Harshit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was counting 12.
Because the first 2 games, I think Harshit is available.
Yeah.
And then the last one, depending on Bumrah, if he's fit
or
how he wants to lead up to Champions Trophy, those kind of nitty-gritties will come into play. But generally, they will look to go in with 5 bowlers is what my sense is.
Yeah.
And Hardik be the supporting 6th bowler.
Excellent. Look at the England squad now. Of course, the England squad has a fair bit of overlap, but the big name, Joss Butler, of course, coming into, Joe Root coming into this squad. So that's a good addition. Joss Butler still, of course, captaining. And you see not a lot of overlap. I think it's entirely the same team, isn't it? It's the...
Joe Root getting added, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, Rayan Ahmed's not in there, so Adil Rashid obviously is going to be a mainstay. Well, I just don't think they've got enough spin, real quality spin. I think they'll go with this rocket approach of trying to blow India away, and I just don't see. Well, I've never seen it work in India, trying to blow an Indian batting lineup on these flat, slow wickets. I think you need more than just rockets. So. In time, I'd like to see England with a little bit more quality spin in their 50 over and T20 team, particularly when you're playing in the subcontinent.
Well, you'll end up getting overs from Liam Livingstone and Joe Root is what the guess is. How do you see the top 6 for England out of that squad?
Well, I think Joe Root is going to be very critical. Looking at how this series has gone in this format, T20, going in ODIs, he's going to play a huge role. Whether Butler, what position he bats, we have to wait and see again. Ben Duckett again is someone who they will be hoping that he plays that middle phase of the innings with having that ability to put spin under pressure. So that is going to be the predominant thought process when you're looking at this England batting lineup. We have to see Bethel how he goes on adapting to these conditions, because ODI format, it'll give them a little breather in terms of sussing the conditions, maybe having different plans. 50 overs, you can actually look to build your innings. So you can't just go hammer and tongs from ball one. Maybe the first power play they will look to be aggressive, but in the middle phase they'll look to adapt and build the innings up. So that's going to be an interesting one.
And in Nagpur, are you getting a run fest in Nagpur? Are you getting a little bit of assistance to the spinners in Nagpur? What kind of a surface can people expect? What do you usually get?
You can expect a little bit of help around the spin for sure.
Yeah.
Looking at this series, how it's gone, maybe in the ODIs, that is going to become even more important. So you will see that kind of those kind of pitches. I think the spin will be a factor, and that is going to be the challenge for this English team also. The challenge will continue in the ODI format as well.
Michael, I'll just come back to what I was asking before you dropped out, which is, what do you see this batting order being for England in the first ODI?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Ducky at the top, he's been exceptional for England. I'd be interested to see who goes in with him, but Joe Root's going to be the key. Will they play Butler and Salt? We'll have to wait and see. Will Butler bat 4 or 5, or will they put him at number 6? He's been used at like 5 and 6 in the last couple of years. Jamie Smith's obviously there as well. Where they're going to play him, I'll be very interested to see who goes in first with Ben Duckett.
Who would you like?
I mean, Harry Brook obviously against the spin in the middle. He's obviously got a little bit of an issue against the spinning ball. There's a little bit in me that wouldn't mind either Harry Brook opening the batting with Ben Duckett or Josh Butler. Just put Josh Butler at the top of the order, give him as much chance as possible to go and get the big scores, and England will be energised and they'll have power in that middle of the innings. But I think Josh Butler just needs to face even though it's 50 overs, face as many balls as he possibly can. I think he's got the ability to get big hundreds, so I'll be pushing him up to the top.
Yeah, but he hasn't opened in ODI cricket in a while, right?
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, he has not.
He hasn't, but I just think he's such a good player. The problem with Josh is he can bat in like 7 positions. He's so good. I just think you've got to maximise how good he is, and it could be that he goes to... I don't think they will. I think they'll probably just go with maybe Phil Salt will play and open the batting with Ben Duckett and be really aggressive at the top. That's pretty much the way that they play, but the key will be Joe Root. Joe Root in the way that he plays spin. If he has a good series and he manoeuvres the ball and plays, with the smartness that we know that he can, England can be very, very competitive. And I just hope the other players take a little bit of a leaf out of the way that Joe Root plays spin, which is not just about trying to whack it into the stands. Manoeuvring the ball into...
Yeah, I mean that's the reason why he's one of the best in the world, right? I mean, Zach, that's what makes these top players so difficult to bowl to, because they're always outthinking you, and they always have 3 or 4 different options, not just one.
See, but what will be interesting to see is what is team's plan. Joe Root is someone who is going to stick to the team's plan.
Yeah.
So if the team's plan is going to be what we've seen so far in the T20 format, and they want to continue playing white ball cricket in that fashion, and as a team, if they decide that, okay, we want to be dominating in this format as well, then I think Joe Root will also be trying to be filling that role.
I agree with you because we've seen him do that in Test cricket, right? That little ramp over third man to the fast bowler.
So I'm curious around that. How, what the talk is happening.
No,
and how it's translating onto the field.
Oh, no, England, don't do it. Just slow down. That's all we want. Just slow down a little bit. One gear down, perhaps, and it could be. Your score prediction, Michael already told us his prediction for the series is 3-0. India, what is your prediction?
I think 2-1.
Yeah?
Yeah. In India's favour.
In India's favour. Interesting that you said that.